I'm in the middle of changing out my front left wheel bearing on a 2014 Kia Optima EX. I thought I would make a video because there isn't a lot of information out there specific to the Optima. There's a couple videos that are similar. One's a newer model where the bearing is a whole hub assembly that isn't pertinent to this model because it's a push-in bearing. And then there's another one where the guy does a great job, but I think it's a Sedona, so there is some minor differences. Plus, I don't have a hydraulic press, so I was able to do it in my shop. But real quick, I'm obviously not going step by step for how to take the knuckle off. There's plenty of videos out there. The only thing I will mention is this little sensor right here. There's a 10 millimeter bolt that comes off. That sensor, I was unfamiliar with how to get it out and a little nervous, so what I found was take your rotor off first, and then you can pry from the front and get underneath here where the sensor actually protrudes in, and it'll pop right out. Originally I was trying to pry back here because I didn't know what that sensor looked like. As far as getting the bearing out, what I wanted to show you was I was able to do it without a hydraulic press. The Optima is a different configuration than what's shown on that Sedona video, and I wanted to go through that real quick. The snap ring on the Optima is actually on the axle side, but you will start the same way. You have to press out the hub, and I did that with you want to get some real heavy blocks that you can support this thing. I used my 32 millimeter, put it on the hub and a block, and I actually took my knuckle off the night before, threw some oil in there, let it soak overnight, and it actually came out pretty easily with just a sledgehammer. So I got to that point. Like I said, the snap ring on the Optima is on the axle side, so you have to pull this out again. I used a lot of PB Blaster, and then flipped it over, and the same thing, just with putting it on a big heavy block and muscle power was able to squeeze it out. The biggest problem is he had a press, and he was able to press. The inner race is going to stick to your hub, and what I was forced to do is I got a grinder from work, a little 4-inch grinder, and you just have to be real careful. And I did a score all the way up. It took me a little bit of time to get to this point, but it scored all the way up. And then obviously safety glasses are a bare minimum because this is hard and it will shatter. I just got my screwdriver in here and started pounding, and when that happened, you'll get it to crack all the way up, and then I can literally just pull this off by hand. So that's how I got that off without a hydraulic press. Other than that, I'm just going to press everything back together with one of those screw kits with the discs. Make sure you use the appropriate equipment to make sure you're pushing it in on the outer races, and then when you push your hub in, you're pushing against the inner race when you do that. So that's it. Thanks.